Right now, as you're listening to this, billions of people are unknowingly trapped inside an invisible prison. No bars, no locks, no guards. Yet, it's so impenetrable that most will never escape. This prison isn't built from steel or stone. It's constructed entirely from thoughts, beliefs, and illusions. Here's the catch. The prison itself is an illusion. Eckhart Tolle, a man who stood on the edge of despair, discovered this shocking truth in a single, life-altering moment. One night, when he thought he'd reached the end, something extraordinary happened. A profound realization that shattered his old reality. In its place, he uncovered 5 mind-bending truths about existence. Truths so powerful, so transformative, that they challenge everything you've been taught to believe. But here's the thing. These secrets aren't just abstract ideas. They're the key to a freedom so vast and life-changing that the modern world is terrified to acknowledge it. Why? Because understanding them would shake the foundations of everything we think we know. These aren't just vague philosophical musings or feel-good mantras. These are groundbreaking insights, realities so profound they make most self-help advice seem trivial in comparison. Tolle didn't just talk about these ideas. He lived them, and millions of people around the world have experienced deep, lasting transformations by applying them. In the next few moments, you're going to discover what these 5 secrets are, why they've remained hidden from the mainstream, and how understanding them could change your life today. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. You can either ignore what's coming next, or you can take a step toward the most liberating truths you'll ever hear. Take a moment to reflect on where your thoughts have been today. Chances are, they've drifted into the past, replaying memories, regrets, or what-ifs, or they've leaped into the future, obsessing over plans, fears, or ambitions. This constant mental time travel feels normal, doesn't it? But here's the truth. It's a trap. Eckhart Tolle discovered that this relentless preoccupation with past and future isn't just exhausting. It's the very root of human suffering. He calls it psychological time, a hidden mechanism that hijacks your peace and keeps you stuck in cycles of anxiety, guilt, and longing. The mind's obsession with what was and what could be creates a never-ending loop of dissatisfaction. Here's how it works. When you dwell on the past, you're tethered to guilt, shame, or nostalgia. When you project into the future, you're gripped by fear, worry, or false hope. And all the while, you're missing the only moment that truly exists, the present. Tolle realized that this is the mind's greatest trick. It convinces you that life is happening somewhere else, never right now. But there's a way out of this trap. Tolle's realization was simple yet revolutionary. Time, as the mind understands it, is an illusion. The past is gone, and the future doesn't exist. Life only unfolds in the present moment. This is the now, and it's the only place where true freedom and peace reside. So, how do you break free from the mind-time trap? It starts with awareness. Tolle suggests observing your thoughts without judgment. Notice when your mind pulls you into the past or future. By becoming the watcher of your mind, you create a gap between your thoughts and your true self. In that gap lies the present moment, a space of clarity and stillness. Here's something profound. When you're fully present, psychological time loses its grip on you. Stress dissolves because you're no longer resisting or anticipating life. You begin to see that the problems consuming your thoughts aren't happening now. They're projections. Think about it. How much of your suffering is tied to something that isn't happening right now? Tolle's discovery invites you to question the stories your mind tells. Is it really the situation causing your pain, or is it your mental resistance to what is? Breaking free from the mind-time trap doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or abandoning goals. It means approaching life from a place of grounded presence, where you're no longer enslaved by mental time. Decisions become clearer, actions more purposeful, and life feels infinitely lighter. This first secret, the mind-time trap, reveals that true peace isn't something you achieve in the future. It's already here, waiting for you to notice it. And once you experience even a glimpse of this freedom, you'll realize how much of your life has been spent chasing illusions. Now, as liberating as this sounds, the mind has another trick up its sleeve. An invisible force that feeds on your suffering and keeps you tethered to the chaos of mental time. In the next section, we'll uncover what this force is and how it operates. Right now, within you, there's an invisible force that thrives on pain. It feeds on your anger, your sadness, your fear, every ounce of suffering you've ever experienced. Eckhart Tolle calls this entity the pain body, and understanding it is the key to breaking free from its control. But what exactly is the pain body? It's not just a metaphor. It's a living, energetic force made up of accumulated emotional pain. Every unresolved hurt, every suppressed trauma, every instance of emotional turmoil leaves a residue within you. Over time, this emotional residue takes on a life of its own, influencing your thoughts, actions, and even relationships. Think of it like a parasite. The pain body craves negativity to sustain itself. It doesn't care about your happiness or well-being. In fact, it actively sabotages them. It whispers toxic thoughts into your mind, pushes you toward conflict, and amplifies every little irritation into a full-blown emotional storm. Ever felt an inexplicable surge of anger, sadness, or frustration that seemed to come out of nowhere? That's the pain body in action. What's even more startling is how the pain body interacts with others. It's not just a personal force, it's deeply contagious. When your pain body is active, it seeks out conflict to feed on. That's why arguments can escalate so quickly, or why certain relationships feel like battlegrounds. Two active pain bodies can lock into a vicious cycle, feeding off each other until both individuals are drained. So, how do you break free from this parasite? The first step is recognition. You can't fight what you can't see. Start by becoming aware of when your pain body is triggered. It often shows up as a sudden, intense emotional reaction, one that feels disproportionate to the situation at hand. The next step is to resist identification with it. This is crucial. The pain body wants you to believe that it is you, but it's not. It's just a pattern of energy, separate from your true self. When you feel its presence, instead of reacting, simply observe it. Acknowledge its existence without judgment or resistance. By doing this, you strip it of its power. Here's a transformative truth. The pain body cannot survive in the light of conscious presence. When you observe it without feeding into its negativity, it begins to dissolve. Each time you refuse to react, the pain body weakens, and its grip on you lessens. Tolle also emphasizes the importance of breaking the cycle of collective pain. This means choosing peace in your interactions with others, even when their pain body is triggering yours. It's not easy, but by staying present and refusing to engage in negativity, you create a space for healing. Not just for yourself, but for those around you. This realization is nothing short of life-changing. When you no longer identify with your pain body, you reclaim your emotional freedom. You stop being a puppet to past hurts and start experiencing life with clarity and lightness. But the pain body is only one piece of the puzzle. There's another layer of illusion that keeps you trapped. A false identity that's been constructed over your lifetime. In the next section, we'll uncover the shocking truth about who you think you are and why letting go of this identity is the ultimate liberation. Who are you? If someone asked you that question, you'd probably start with your name, your job, your background, or your story. You might even talk about your successes, your struggles, and the roles you play in life. But here's the uncomfortable truth Eckhart Tolle reveals. None of that is who you truly are. This carefully crafted sense of self, the one you call me, is a sophisticated illusion. It's a mental construct made up of memories, beliefs, and labels that you've accumulated over time. Feels solid, but in reality, it's as fragile as a house of cards. And yet, this illusion is what drives almost every decision, reaction, and emotion in your life. Tolle refers to this as the false self or the ego. It thrives on identification. It clings to external things, your possessions, achievements, appearance, and even your failures, to maintain its sense of importance. The ego loves drama because it reinforces its existence. The more conflict or struggle it can latch onto, the more real it feels. But here's the problem. The ego is never satisfied. No matter how much you achieve or acquire, it always wants more. It's constantly chasing something: success, validation, security. But the moment it gets what it wants, it shifts the goalposts. This endless cycle of craving and dissatisfaction creates the very suffering you're trying to escape. So, who are you if you're not this identity? Tolle's answer is profound. You are not your thoughts, your story, or even your emotions. You are the awareness behind them. Think of it like this: imagine you're watching a movie. The ego is the character on the screen, caught up in the plot, the conflict, and the drama. But you're not the character. You're the one sitting in the audience, silently observing it all. The problem is, most people have forgotten they're the observer. They're so identified with the character that they believe they are the story. The moment you recognize this, something extraordinary happens. The grip of the false identity begins to loosen. You realize that your true nature is beyond form. It's timeless, infinite, and untouched by the ups and downs of life. But letting go of the ego isn't easy. It will resist fiercely because its survival depends on your belief in it. The ego will try to pull you back into old patterns, triggering feelings of fear or insecurity. This is why presence, living fully in the now, is so crucial. When you're present, the ego loses its power because it can only exist in the realms of past and future. Here's an even deeper revelation. Your true self isn't something you find, it's something you've always been. It's not hidden. It's simply been obscured by layers of thought and conditioning. The journey isn't about becoming something new. It's about peeling away the illusions to reveal what's already there. When you see through the identity illusion, everything changes. You stop chasing external validation because you no longer need it to feel whole. You approach life with a sense of lightness because you're no longer bound by the weight of me. And most importantly, you experience a freedom so profound that it feels like waking up from a dream. But there's more. Beneath the constant noise of the ego lies a doorway to something even greater, a dimension of consciousness that holds the key to true power and peace. In the next section, we'll explore this hidden portal and how it can transform your life. Beneath the endless chatter of your mind lies a doorway, a portal to something so profound that it defies words. This is what Eckhart Tolle calls presence, a state of being that's not just peaceful but transformative. Presence is the master key to escaping the prison of the mind and unlocking a dimension of life most people don't even realize exists. But what exactly is presence? At its core, it's the experience of being fully here, fully alive in this moment. It's when you're not lost in thought about the past or worrying about the future. It's when you're so grounded in now that everything, your breath, your surroundings, even the smallest details, feels vivid and alive. The challenge is that most people are disconnected from this state. Modern life keeps you perpetually distracted, chasing after what's next or dwelling on what's already gone. Tolle explains that society itself is designed to pull you away from presence. Every notification, every headline, every advertisement is engineered to capture your attention and drag it into the noise. But here's the secret. Presence isn't something you need to create. It's already here, beneath the surface of your thoughts, waiting for you to notice it. It's the stillness that exists in the gaps between your mental chatter. And when you tap into it, even briefly, you'll begin to understand why Tolle calls it the most powerful state of being. Presence isn't just peaceful. It's life-changing. Why? Because it shifts how you experience reality. When you're present, the mind's stories lose their grip on you. Anxiety, stress, and fear, all of which depend on past or future thinking, start to dissolve. You see situations with clarity instead of through the fog of mental projections. Tolle describes presence as a portal because it connects you to something far greater than your individual self. When you're fully present, you experience life as it truly is, not as your mind interprets it. You become aware of the interconnectedness of all things, the deeper intelligence that permeates existence. Here's how to access presence, even amidst the chaos of daily life. 1. Anchor yourself in the now. Start by focusing on your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. This simple act pulls your attention out of your thoughts and into your immediate experience. 2. Observe without judgment and notice your surroundings, your emotions, and your thoughts without labeling them as good or bad. Just observe. This creates space between you and your mind's incessant commentary. 3. Use your senses, engage fully with what you're doing, whether it's walking, eating, or listening. Feel the texture, hear the sounds, notice the details. Your senses are a direct gateway to presence. The power of presence lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require years of practice or complex techniques. The moment you stop resisting the now and fully embrace it, you're there. But presence isn't just a tool for personal peace. It's the foundation for purpose and power. When you're fully present, you act with clarity and intention. You're no longer reacting from ego or fear. You become a force of calm amidst chaos, a source of light in a world that desperately needs it. This secret, the presence portal, holds the potential to transform not just your life but the lives of those around you. Imagine what would happen if more people tapped into this power. Conflicts would dissolve, relationships would deepen, and a collective shift in consciousness would begin. And this shift isn't just a possibility, it's already happening. The world is undergoing an intense period of transformation, one that Tolle believes is accelerating humanity's awakening. In the next section, we'll uncover why today's chaos is more than it seems, and how it holds the key to a profound spiritual evolution. Take a moment to reflect on the world around you, its chaos, its intensity, and the overwhelming sense that something monumental is shifting. Eckhart Tolle doesn't see this as mere happenstance. He calls it an awakening acceleration, a period in human history where the crisis isn't random but necessary for a profound transformation in human consciousness. On the surface, today's world might look like it's unraveling. Climate change, societal unrest, political polarization, and a deep sense of unease seem to dominate the global landscape. But Tolle argues that this upheaval isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's as though the old structures, the ones built on fear, division, and ego, are being dismantled to make way for something far greater. Here's the key insight. Awakening often begins with discomfort. Think about your own life. Was it during moments of peace and comfort that you grew the most? Or was it through challenges? Times when everything seemed to fall apart, forcing you to question who you were and what you believed? Tolle suggests that this is exactly what humanity is going through on a collective scale. The chaos we see is a mirror reflecting the inner turmoil of the collective human mind. The ego, both on an individual and societal level, is being exposed for what it is, an unsustainable way of living. And just like the ego in your personal life resists change, the collective ego fights back, creating even more tension and crisis. But within this tension lies an opportunity, a doorway to rapid evolution. Tolle believes that as the old structures crumble, more people are waking up to the realization that the life they've been living is built on illusions. They're questioning the stories they've been told, the roles they've been playing, and the systems they've been supporting. This awakening isn't happening to a select few. It's a wave sweeping across humanity. More people are beginning to see through the mind's illusions and reconnect with the deeper truth of who they are. They're discovering the power of presence, the futility of ego-driven pursuits, and the interconnectedness of all life. Tolle describes this period as both challenging and exhilarating. The resistance to awakening, the fear, the division, the conflict, can feel overwhelming. But just as a seed must break through the soil to grow, humanity must move through this discomfort to reach a higher state of consciousness. What's most fascinating is that this awakening is happening faster than ever. With the rise of technology, information, and global connectivity. Ideas that were once confined to small circles are now spreading like wildfire. Teachings on presence, mindfulness, and consciousness are reaching millions of people, igniting sparks of awareness in every corner of the globe. So, what does this mean for you? It means you have a choice. You can resist the change, clinging to the old ways of thinking and living, or you can embrace this opportunity for transformation. The chaos of the world isn't something to fear. It's something to understand, something to use as fuel for your own awakening. This acceleration isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving. As you awaken, you become part of a larger movement, a shift that goes beyond individual lives and touches the very fabric of humanity. You're no longer just a passive observer of the chaos. You're an active participant in the creation of a new way of being. This is the power of the awakening acceleration. It's not just a concept, it's a call to action. It invites you to step out of the drama of the world and into the stillness of presence. It challenges you to dissolve the ego's illusions and live from a place of truth and authenticity. And most importantly, it reminds you that you're not alone. This transformation is happening on a global scale, and every step you take towards awakening contributes to the greater whole. But how do you navigate this intensity? How do you ground yourself in the midst of such rapid change? That's exactly what we'll cover next. In the final section, we'll explore simple yet profound techniques you can use to bring these insights into your daily life, ensuring that you don't just understand these secrets, you live them. Now that you've uncovered Eckhart Tolle's 5 reality-bending secrets, the real question is, how do you integrate these profound insights into your daily life? It's one thing to understand them intellectually, but transformation happens when you start applying them. And the good news is, these practices don't require hours of meditation or years of study. They're simple, actionable, and can fit seamlessly into your everyday routine. Let's start with breaking free from the mind time trap. The first step is to notice when your thoughts drift to the past or the future. Pay attention to the narratives running in your head. Are you replaying old regrets or anxiously anticipating what's to come? Each time you catch yourself, gently bring your attention back to the present. One powerful tool for this is conscious breathing. Take a slow, deep breath and feel it fully, how the air fills your lungs and leaves your body. This small act anchors you to the now, cutting through the endless loops of mental time. Next is dealing with the pain body parasite. To disempower this emotional force, you must first become aware of it. Notice when you're triggered, when a sudden wave of anger, sadness, or frustration takes over. Instead of reacting or suppressing it, pause and observe. Feel the emotion in your body without judgment. Recognize it for what it is, the pain body trying to feed on your energy. By shining the light of your awareness on it, you start to dissolve its grip. For the identity illusion, take time to question the roles and labels you've attached to yourself. Are you defining your worth by your job title, achievements, or relationships? Remind yourself that these are constructs of the mind, not your true essence. A simple exercise is to sit quietly and ask, who am I without my story? Don't rush to answer. Instead, sit in the space of that question and allow the deeper truth to emerge. Now, let's talk about accessing the presence portal. Here's a practice you can use anytime, anywhere. Pick an ordinary moment, washing dishes, walking outside, or sipping tea, and bring your full attention to it. Notice every detail, the sound of water, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the taste of the tea. Allow yourself to fully experience the moment without labeling or analyzing it. This is presence in action. Finally, navigating the awakening acceleration requires grounding yourself amidst the intensity of the world. Begin by limiting the time you spend consuming fear-based news or social media. Instead, dedicate time to activities that nurture your soul, whether it's being in nature, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. Surround yourself with people, books, and content that elevate your consciousness. One of the simplest yet most transformative practices is gratitude. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. This shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, rewiring your mind to notice the beauty and abundance already present in your life. Here's the truth. Transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual process of choosing presence over distraction, awareness over autopilot, and truth over illusion. These small, consistent actions create a ripple effect, not just in your life but in the lives of everyone around you. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Millions of people are waking up to these truths and embracing the profound shift that's happening. By applying these secrets, you're joining a global wave of transformation, becoming a beacon of awareness in a world hungry for change. Now, the path is clear, and the choice is yours. To return to the familiar cycle of unconscious living, or to embrace these principles and step into the reality Tolle has illuminated. Whichever path you choose, remember this: presence is always just one breath away. In the final moments of this video, we'll share how you can continue exploring these truths, deepening your understanding and applying them in every aspect of your life. Let's take this next step together and make the profound shift from merely existing to truly living. Now that you've been introduced to Eckhart Tolle's 5 reality-bending secrets, a decision lies before you. You can choose to return to the familiar patterns of thought, ruled by the illusions of the mind and the chaos of the world. Or you can step into a new way of living, one defined by presence, clarity, and profound transformation. These truths aren't just ideas. They're tools, waiting for you to pick them up and use them to shape a life of peace and purpose. By embracing them, you're not just transforming yourself, you're contributing to a global awakening, a shift that's unfolding at this very moment. If this message resonates with you, it's time to go deeper. Subscribe to this channel for more insights, practices, and guidance that will help you on your journey of awakening. Together, we'll explore the profound teachings of Eckhart Tolle, other spiritual masters, and modern science to uncover the truths that will elevate your life. Now is the time to take action. Share this video with someone who might need to hear these insights. Leave a comment below with your biggest takeaway, or tell us how these ideas are changing the way you see the world. You've already taken the first step by watching this far. The next steps are yours to take. Remember, presence isn't a distant goal. It's available to you right now, in this very moment. So, breathe deeply, step into awareness, and let's continue this journey together. The awakening starts here, and it starts with you.